Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Hello, thank you for listening to Ask Rob and Rob. You're joining us for episode number 23, the 23rd time we are taking one of your questions and attempting to give it an answer. Today's question is from Dwayne. It's a good one, and we're going to answer it in just a second.
But before we do, if you'd like to leave your own question for us to answer, please do. Give us a call. Normal rates apply on 0130808 00035. That's 0130808 00035. Or go to thepropertyhub.net/podcast. Really easy. If you've got, I've got that question I've been meaning to get answered for a while, just do it and we'll be more than happy to answer. That's what Dwayne's done. So let's have a listen.
Hey, Rob and Rob. It's Dwayne, a London investor here. And thanks for putting on such a great show. I listen to it every week. And thanks for your time. My question this week will probably be around new builds versus second-hand properties, pros and cons. And when do new builds actually work? And do you have any new builds in your portfolio? So thanks, Rob. And hopefully I'll get my question answered. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, new builds versus second-hand. Age-old debate. It's property investors love this debate, and they get really tribal over it as well. Some people are like, oh, you must never buy new builds, and oh, you must always buy new builds. And really, it's something in between, and it will depend on your strategy. Personally, I like new builds, and the majority of my properties are either new or nearly new. The majority, not all, but the vast majority. Now, the reason why is I'm busy. And they offer less risk. Not zero risk, but less risk. If it's new or nearly new, the likelihood is it comes with a guarantee, a 10-year structural guarantee. And everything inside it should be new. So therefore, the chances of things going wrong are reduced. Not eliminated, but reduced. And that appeals to me because although my properties are managed, I still don't want to have to be making decisions on new boilers or whatever else can go wrong. And that's why I deliberately target new builds. Now, of course, there are benefits to second-hand. If my strategy was to add value to a property, then it's not going to work with new builds. I'm going to have to look at second-hand properties, if I want to put an extension on or something else. Second-hand properties do have their place as well, although the risk of things going wrong on a Victorian terrace, well, they're just that little bit higher, aren't they? You would expect so. So it depends on you and your strategy. There is no right answer, but please don't listen to people who say you must do this way and ignore the other. They're just very biased to their own strategy, which is what you find a lot in property. You have to be open-minded and just find out what's right for you.
Yeah, people do get very het up about this, and I've never fully understood why. I personally don't have any new builds in my portfolio. I've got some that are nearly new, but I've never bought anything new. That's not for any reason. It's not because I'm opposed to it. It's just the way that it's worked out so far. It's worth drawing a distinction as well, I think, between new build and off-plan, which are not necessarily the same thing. Sometimes when people are talking about new builds, they kind of infer the fact that you're buying it off plan. That can be the case, but it doesn't have to be. Buying off plan, again, is something that people get very funny about and sometimes say, you should never do this, but not the case at all. You just need to understand the risks and the rewards in that scenario. But for me, it's the same as the houses and flats debate, which is another one that people have very strong views about. But I have both, and it doesn't bother me because essentially it all comes down to the fundamentals and it comes down to the numbers. And if a property ticks all the boxes, it doesn't particularly matter to me whether it's new or old or it's a house or it's a flat or whatever. So in terms of pros and cons, I think, Rob, you've covered them off quite well. The main advantage is the fact that there will be that guarantee. There's going to be less that can go wrong. But that doesn't mean that it's something that you must do or that you must not do.
So hopefully that answers your question. It's going to come down to you as an individual. And I think that's what makes it interesting, is that every individual will need a different strategy. Rob and I can talk about, our concepts, our ideas, and talk very broadly. But that's where the summit's really useful, because we can get down to the individual, the nitty-gritty, and you as an individual. Now, Dwayne, this is not just for you. This is what I'm talking about. If anybody else would like to get specific help and advice on their property, then you probably find our summits really useful. If you want to find out more about the summits that we do just a few times a year, get your phone out and text Summit, leave a space, and then type your email and send it to 88802. That's Summit, then your email, 88802. 02, and we will send you all the information you need to make an informed decision on whether you'd like to join Rob and I on one of those magical days.
Whether you decide to join us there or not, I hope you will definitely be joining us this Thursday for the Property Podcast, and then again next Tuesday for another episode of Ask Rob and Rob. And if you haven't asked your question yet, go do it now. We'd love to hear from you. That's all for this week, though. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.